2025. May I ask for a roll call, please?
Mayor Pro Tem Abdelgawad,
Here.
Councilmember Baker,
Present.
Councilmember Barber,
Present.
Councilmember Burke,
Present.
Councilmember Circo,
Present.
Councilmember Ingert,
Present.
Councilmember Holman,
Present.
Councilmember Mills,
Present.
Mayor Turnbow absent.
All right, we have a quorum. So if you'll join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, and we do have a proclamation tonight, so I'll meet Nathan at the podium. Trade jobs. So tonight we have a proclamation for Parks and Recreation Month. So I'll read that. Whereas Parks and Recreation programs are an integral part of communities throughout this country, including the city of Raymore, Missouri. And whereas our Parks and Recreation programs are vitally important to establishing and maintaining the quality of life in our communities, ensuring the health of all citizens and contributing to the economic and environmental well-being of a community and region. And whereas Parks and Recreation programs increase a community's economic prosperity through increased property values, expansion of the local tax base, increased tourism, the attraction and retention of businesses, and crime reduction. And whereas our parks and natural recreation areas ensure the beauty of our community and provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and recreate outdoors. And whereas the U.S. House of Representatives has designated July as Parks and Recreation Month, now, therefore, our mayor, Christopher P. Turnbow, mayor of the city of Raymore, Missouri, hereby proclaims the month of July 2025 as Parks and Recreation Month in the city of Raymore, Missouri, and encouraging all citizens and guests to celebrate Parks and Recreation Month by visiting Raymore's 300 acres of parkland, including 7 parks, 4 linear parks, over 20 miles of trails, an amphitheater, ice rink, spray ground, athletic fields, shelters, the Centerview event space, Raymore Activity Center, or participate in one of our league's programs or community events. In witness whereof, he has hereunto set his hand and caused the seal of the city of Raymore to be affixed on the 14th day of July 2025. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You want to say something?
Oh, you don't want to give me the mic. We'll be here all night.
All right, congratulations. Okay, we don't have any personal appearances tonight. So next up are staff reports. Mr. Fearborn.
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. I would ask Mr. Gress to make a staff report for Development Services.
Thank you, sir. Mayor Pro Tem and Council, within your packet this evening was a monthly report for the month of June in Development Services. Just a couple things I wanted to highlight. We did issue 17 more permits during the month of June, and those were issued in the Eastbrook, Prairie of the Good Ranch, Timber Trails, and the Knoll Creek Estate subdivisions, so pretty spread across the entire city, which is always good to see. That brings us up to a total of 84 permits for the calendar year for new single-family homes within the city. Tenant finish work is nearing completion, as well as some last-minute kind of outstanding items on the building itself for Einstein Brothers, so they should be open here within the next couple of weeks as they wrap up some kind of small site items there nearing the completion of their project. And then down south at the Raymore Commerce Center development there on the south phase, they are making some pretty considerable progress on building number 5, which is the first building they've started construction on. Last month they nearly wrapped up the building foundation and started tilting up some of the walls and installing the roof. So good progress being made down there on that site. In addition to that, the Dean Avenue and 195th Street improvement that Van Trust is also working on is almost nearing completion and should be open here in the next couple of weeks as well. That concludes my staff report for the month of June, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Very good. Any questions? If not, Mr. Freeborn?
Thank you, Mr. Gress. I would ask Chief Wilson to make a report for the police department.
Good evening. My report's going to involve animal control. Animal control will be hosting a vaccination clinic at Recreation Park August 12th between noon and 2:30. Wayside Waves, K-State Veterinary Team, the Rescue Project, all will be on hand, conducting on-site low-cost vaccinations and providing other pet supplies to community members. In the coming days, we'll receive a QR code from Wayside Waves. This will be placed at various business locations and on Animal Control's Facebook page. This will be the barcode that you have to schedule an appointment to come to the rec park. You have to, I really want to emphasize, you must schedule an appointment through that barcode. The last time we hosted an event was in 2023. That event was very successful. We did not have an event in '24, and I anticipate this event being full up. It's only 2.5 hours, and it takes 15 minutes per, so it's going to be pretty busy. So that's my report.
All right. Any questions for Chief? If not, Mr. Freeborn? Oh, sorry, Mr. Mills.
Just a quick question. Have we seen the vandalism in the parks start to decline with some of the actions that we've taken, or is that still?
It peaks and valleys. There's been a little bit, I would say there's been a little bit of a decline. We're in the parks quite a bit, and I think the Parks Department is also doing some extra things to kind of help out with that as well.
Well, and that's good because it's summertime, so the odds of it would go up, but if it's on a decline, that's
I do
doing
know.
good.
I do know in the last week, 2 weeks, we did have an incident where some kids did fire off some fireworks in the bathroom at Memorial Park, and we have a couple leads on that, and we're following up on that as well.
All right. Anything else? Okay. If not, Mr. Freeborn?
Thank you, Chief. I would ask Ms. Hill to make a report for the city clerk's office.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. Staff witnessed the annual destruction of city records on June 27th in accordance with the Missouri Secretary of State's office. A detailed list of those documents that were disposed of is included in your council packets as Exhibit A and will be attached to the minutes of this meeting, serving as the permanent record to comply with the Missouri Record Retention Manual. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Hill? If not, Mr. Freeborn?
Thank you, Ms. Hill. Just a reminder, the council will have a work session next week on the 21st. Topics are a little, we're trying to nail some things down now, but it's got a theme to it, which is going to be pre-budget items that we need to run past the council ahead of time. That concludes staff reports tonight. Happy to answer any questions.
All right. Thank you. Questions? Doesn't look like it. Moving on to, we don't have any committee reports, so we'll move on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to dispose of the consent agenda?
Madam Mayor Pro Tem,
Mr. Holman?
I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented to include item A, the city council meeting minutes from the meeting of June 23rd, 2025, and item B, the Sunset Lane and Hawk Ridge Park parking lot project acceptance and final payment.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, sir. There's been a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Can we please have a roll call vote?
Councilmember Abdelgawad,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Barber,
Yes.
Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Councilmember Circo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert,
Yes.
Councilmember Holman,
Yes.
Councilmember Mills.
Yes.
The consent agenda is approved with an 8-0 vote. Moving on to unfinished business. First up, we have a word of contract for bulk road salt. Will you please read Bill 3975 by title only?
The second reading of Bill 3975 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Central Salt LLC for supply and delivery of bulk road salt, city project number 25-012.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, do we have a motion to dispose of this item?
Madam Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, sir.
I move that we approve Bill 3975, award of contract to Central Salt LLC for bulk road salt purchase.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Abdelgawad,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Barber,
Yes.
Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Councilmember Circo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert,
Yes.
Councilmember Holman,
Yes.
Councilmember Mills.
Yes.
Bill 3975 is approved with an 8-0 vote. Moving on to our next item, Bill 3978. Will you please read that by title only?
The second reading of Bill 3978 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, establishing an intergovernmental agreement with the Raymore Peculiar School District to provide school resource officer services for schools in Raymore and as requested at East Middle School.
If there are no further questions, do we have a motion to dispose of this item?
Madam Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, sir.
I move that we approve Bill 3978, the 2025-2026 Raymore Peculiar School Resource Officer Agreement.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, we have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? If not, can we have the roll call?
Mayor Pro Tem Abdelgawad,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Barber,
Yes.
Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Councilmember Circo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert,
Yes.
Councilmember Holman,
Yes.
Councilmember Mills.
Yes.
Second reading of Bill 3978 passes with an 8-0 vote. Moving on to Bill 3977. Can we have that read by title only, please?
The second reading of Bill 3977 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Holiday FX LLC for installation, maintenance, and storage of the city's holiday displays.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, do we have a motion to dispose of this item?
Madam Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, sir.
I move that we approve Bill 3977, award of contract to Holiday FX for holiday lighting.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? If not, can we have a roll call, please?
Mayor Pro Tem Abdelgawad,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Barber,
Yes.
Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Councilmember Circo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert,
Yes.
Councilmember Holman,
Yes.
Councilmember Mills.
Yes.
Bill 3977 is approved with an 8-0 vote. That wraps up our old business, so we'll move on to new business. Can we have the first reading of Bill 3979 by title only, please?
The first reading of Bill 3979 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, establishing a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain officials and candidates for elective offices.
Thank you. Can we have a staff report?
Thank you, Madam. I would ask Ms. Hill to make a staff report on this agenda item.
Thank you, sir. Missouri statutes require political subdivisions with operating budgets more than $1 million to adopt an ordinance at an open meeting, making public its method of disclosing potential conflicts of interest. The only officials required to file a financial disclosure statement the following year are the Chief Administrative Officer, the Chief Purchasing Officer, and those employees and elected officials who have had a transaction of more than $500 with the political subdivision. Bill 3979 establishes the City of Raymore's public procedures for disclosing potential conflicts of interest and personal financial disclosure, as provided for in revised statutes of Missouri, sections 105.483 and 105.485.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions of staff? All right. Do we have, is there anything further?
Nothing further, Madam.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to dispose of Bill 3979?
Madam Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, sir.
I move that we approve Bill 3979, the annual personal financial disclosure ordinance.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, can we have a roll call, please?
Mayor Pro Tem Abdelgawad,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Barber,
Yes.
Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Councilmember Circo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert,
Yes.
Councilmember Holman,
Yes.
Councilmember Mills.
Yes.
The first reading of Bill 3979 passes with an 8-0 vote. Item B, Bill 3976. Can we have the first reading of that bill, please?
The first reading of Bill 3976 by title only, an ordinance of the City of Raymore, Missouri, approving the iconic Final Development Plan, a mixed-use development project located north of Johnston Drive and west of Dean Avenue in Raymore, Cass County, Missouri.
Thank you. Staff report?
Thank you, Madam. I would ask Mr. Gress to begin the staff report.
Thank you, sir. Mayor Pro Tem and City Council, the request before you this evening for consideration is an application that was submitted by Griffin Riley Property Group. They are requesting final development plan approval for the iconic mixed-use project. As the council may recall at last, it was formerly called Timber Trails Mixed Use. Under the final development plan, they've attached a name to the project. The request this evening is the combination of a final plat and a site plan. Under the provisions of the UDC, a final development plan is reviewed under the provisions of Chapter 470, which outline the approval of a final plat. The addition to this application, though, is it does include the site plan application and information that was presented to and approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission at their last meeting. The application includes both a final plat for 5 lots and 2 tracts, which constitutes the piece of land that's being requested for approval this evening, again, as well as the site plan approval for a portion of the project, which constitutes 4 multifamily dwellings, including 299 units, a clubhouse, and then 1 commercial retail building at the southeast corner of the project. The preliminary development plan, which was approved in 2023, does include a lot for a future hotel under the MOU and the Chapter 100 agreement with the city. There's provisions with that about the types of hotels and the flags, essentially, that the city would be supportive of. We have not yet selected a hotel flag or brand that would eventually locate here. And I only say that because eventually Lot 1 would be subject to a site plan review for that actual hotel. It is not part of the application in front of you all this evening. A little bit of a history for the property on pages 2 and 3 of the staff report. This property overall was initially annexed into the city and zoned as part of the Timber Trails subdivision, was originally slated to have a number of townhome units on it, but most recently on July 24th of 2023, the City Council did unanimously approve the rezoning, the MOU, and the PUD preliminary plan for the Timber Trails mixed-use project, which was essentially the preliminary plat for the larger mixed-use project on that property. That was approved in July of 2023. Within sections of the staff report are the various use standards, development standards that apply to each of the lots and the uses within the project. A couple of details that I wanted to touch on in terms of landscaping and screening as it relates to the development plan. Those requirements are being met through a combination of parking lot landscaping, site landscaping and screening, and then screening along the adjacent uses, streets, and adjoining properties. A landscape plan was included within the staff report for you all's consideration. In terms of the building design, one of the requirements in the MOU originally was the requirement for 4-sided architecture on the retail building. The reasoning behind that was to mitigate kind of the visual impact. It's right there at the corner of Dean and Johnston. And so looking at the rear of that building, the requirement there was to kind of mitigate, to carry elements of the rest of the building through its entirety, just to break up the monotony of that view as you're looking at it from Dean and Johnston. So within your packet is a drawing that staff has reviewed, did meet the requirements of what was required with the 4-sided architecture within that MOU. Another topic and a condition of the original preliminary development plan dealt with the proposed access onto Dean Avenue. At the time, the applicant was requesting a full access onto Dean Avenue. Through this project, we shared the information on their traffic study with Wilson & Company, who was our traffic consultant on the project. They reviewed that application and compared it with the traffic study that we did in 2020 along the Dean Avenue corridor. So within this application, you'll see that they did recommend a 4-foot center median along Dean Avenue to restrict uncontrolled turning movements essentially onto Dean. So it will in effect create what would be a right-in, right-out off of Dean would allow access into the site, but would limit access coming out. So the developer will be responsible for constructing those improvements along Dean Avenue with this project. In terms of other utilities, as it relates to stormwater, there's an existing pond on the property that the developer is proposing to enlarge and use as kind of a central feature of the project. So all the stormwater will drain into the detention basin that's on site and then be released into the rest of the system there for the city. The one other thing that I wanted to point out, under page 7 of the staff report, it talks about site lighting. With this project, it does include a combination of public street lighting along Johnston Drive that the developer will be responsible for. It also includes private site lighting along Iconic Drive, which is the private street that will serve this, and then also any site lighting in the parking lots or on the buildings that will be reviewed essentially at the building permit phase of this project. What the applicant and staff have kind of agreed upon, typically we would review the photometric plan at the site plan phase, but because the other elements of lighting that will be included within that, we're asking to delay that until we get the building permit and the public improvement plans so we can review all of the elements of lighting together and make sure that they meet the requirements of the code. In terms of as I mentioned, the final development plan does not include the site plan for the hotel, so the council and the commission will have a chance to review that at a later date. We did include in the packet the findings of fact that were presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission on June 3rd at their last meeting. At that meeting, the commission did vote unanimously to recommend approval of the project and send it forward to City Council with their recommendation. That would conclude my staff report. Happy to answer any questions or any follow-up information that's needed.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Gress? Mr. Sir?
Yes, just real quickly, based upon this being a final plat for it and a final approval, this is a ministerial decision for the or for the council to make. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have regarding that.
Thank you.
I'll also note that the applicant developer is here. I believe they may have a short presentation as well. But if the council has any questions from the applicant, they are also in the audience tonight.
Thank you. I didn't see any questions up here. Anything further from
Son.
staff? Oh, Mr. Baker.
Yes, and not sure, I guess the timing of this would be probably for Mr. Gress, but I did have some questions and maybe the presentation after this will answer them. But the concern, I guess, the 4-foot median on Dean Avenue, I know it states it's 150 feet from the turnout. I mean, it could be 75 one way and 75 the other. The traffic study, I know Councilmember Mills had brought this up in the past, and I've witnessed it as well, that the blind spot, if you're on Johnston Drive going east and you're looking north onto Dean, currently there's a blind spot due to vegetation, but with the retail center and then based on the renderings in the packet, there seems to be a lot of trees that will be planted right along that sidewalk on Dean. Are we going to create more of a blind spot by not being able to see up Dean? I guess that's the first question for Mr. Gress or whoever on that, Public Works.
I'll give a little bit of the background. I know Mr. Salisbury's had a chance to review the engineering plan as well. To your first question, our first point, a lot of the landscaping that's there right now is what creates a lot of the sight distance issues at that intersection trying to look north, as well as the topography of that. And so with this project, they'll be cutting some of that back and also turning it into a retaining wall. The site triangle, though, is what we'll be looking at for any types of encroachments for visibility. So the buildings will all be, they all meet the setbacks of the zoning district of what is in our code. In addition to, typically nothing is allowed to encroach in the site triangle, which in this case is typically 30 feet on either side of the intersection. So from our plans, it can be kind of hard to tell on a 2D drawing, but from what we've reviewed, there shouldn't be any impacts to visibility. And if Mr. Salisbury had any additional information to answer that.
Doesn't look like it.
I think David covered it.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Zer, will you let us
Okay.
know if we get too deep into the weeds here? Okay, thank you.
Then the second question would be on the traffic study, that with 575 parking places proposed and not counting the hotel, does that put undue pressure on the Johnson Drive, Dean Avenue intersection, or is that something that I mean, we foresee a stoplight and that could be something the developer could help us with, or how do we view that? Because I just see with that being restricted right only on Dean, they're all going to come down to Johnston Drive and we're going to have one busy intersection, either going left or right on Dean at Johnston Drive. Is that impacted in the traffic study?
So the one of the things we reviewed, or I guess the reason that we had Wilson and Company review the applicant's traffic study was that they're the ones that completed the Westgate traffic study for the city back in 2020, and it outlined different improvements or considerations that the city could take on as development were to occur. So that study did not recommend any signal improvements at Dean Avenue. The issue that we were focused on at first was the uncontrolled access onto Dean coming around the curve for the retail center. And so that's what our study worked to address. The traffic counts and the traffic study didn't necessarily warrant anything other than the two-way stop at Dean and Johnston Drive. This will also have a connection to the outer road, two connections actually, one via Johnston and then one connection via Iconic Drive. And so that will be a secondary relief to get people to the outer road signal at, I think it's Outer Road Drive and 58 Highway. And so, there's a couple different access points that will filter traffic in and out. Again, I know Mr. Salisbury had a chance to review that. The applicant's engineer is also here if they had any additional information to add.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, one last question. For the site lighting on Johnston Drive, I know this is similar to the duplexes across the street, but will the developer be required to put lighting on both sides of the street, or will they only be lighting the north side of the street?
Typically with our site lighting, we only require it on one side. The lights are sized, I guess you would say, to cover both sides of the road, if that makes sense. So when we do our construction plan review, we get photometric plans that show the coverage of the lights that are installed and make sure that it covers the entirety of the road.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Very good. Any other questions of staff so far? Very good. Anything more from staff or developer?
That would be it from staff. Developer is prepared to make a presentation.
All right.
And while they're walking up to the podium, I'll broadcast the presentation to your screen. And Councilmember Baker, I had forwarded a copy of the presentation to you as well, so you could follow along offsite.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the City Council. While I am not Jake Lovelace, nor do I look nearly as good looking as him, I am part of the team at Griffin Riley Proper Group. We are the applicant of this request, and we have a very short presentation this evening. But first, before I dive into that, there was an interesting question posed on the radio as I drove down here. The Mount Rushmore of barbecue places in Kansas City. For me, top three, Gates, Arthur's, and Q39. So think about that last person, the last barbecue place in Mount Rushmore, because we are hopeful that once all things are said and done, we're sitting on the Mount Rushmore of fantastic Raymore developments. Next slide. Super brief presentation. You all know us. You might recall that we did the Venue luxury townhomes.
Sorry to interrupt. Is anybody up here seeing the presentation?
Oh.
I don't think, we don't see that, David.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can everyone see the presentation on your screens? I'm sorry, probably should have made
That's
sure
all
of
right.
that.
Yes, we see it now.
Okay. The slide you're seeing right now is a quick introduction of us, Griffin Riley, what we're about, what our vision, mission, values are. I'm not going to go into nitty-gritty detail of that, but would love to answer any questions that you all may have of that. Next slide. We have tremendous number of years of experience. We have over 2.1 million square feet of real estate assets. We have actually 21 plus projects now active in the hopper. You can see the rest there that we hold a number of assets and have quite a bit of experience both in new development and acquisitions on the commercial real estate side. Next slide. You might be familiar with the Venue townhomes along Dean Avenue. highly successful project of ours. We opened in January 23. We are fully stabilized at 95% plus occupancy. So it's been a great project. We've welcomed a lot of great new residents in our luxury townhomes. Next slide. I also wanted to show you briefly the current status. I don't know if you all have a chance to drive down 50 Highway east of Lee Summit on the way to Lone Jack, Warrensburg, but the new Blackwell interchange is our Blackwell Collective, which is our apartments, residences at Blackwell, which is at the bottom of the slide, and then our shops at Blackwell, which will follow behind the rooftops. Next slide, David. And then the two other multifamily components of that project is the Reunion at Blackwell, which is our active adult 55 plus single-story townhomes, as well as our Reserve at Blackwell, which is our single-family for rent, build-to-rent community, 77 units there. And I'm specifically excited to see how that leases up in Lee Summit. We're hopeful that it goes well, and it should, and are looking at other spots across the metro area. And then what started, Griffin Raleigh started most of what our activities have happened is Echelon. That is a luxury apartment community in the south side of Lee Summit, 150 Highway, just kind of west of 291 and Walmart. Highly successful project again, very strong occupancy. Next slide, David. So what about our project as we're proposing tonight? Briefly, it's about 22.3 acres between the existing Timber Trails townhomes and the Benton House, a retirement facility. It is the front gateway, or the billboard, I like to call it, of I-49. Strong visual point from I-49. Folks will see this site as they drive along 49. As Mr. Gress did a fantastic job of introducing the project, as well as Mr. Salisbury, we have two main components of this proposal, with a third coming behind. Hopefully, we've talked to a couple of hotel groups and had some very good, strong initial conversations, and we're hopeful that will carry on. But for this evening, we have what is called the iconic residences. So those are 4 buildings: Building A, B, C, and D, totaling 299 units, with a detached luxury clubhouse with full amenities, including a couple pickleball courts, a barbecue kind of a movie area, as well as a playground for children. And then the retail center, the retail center is on the lower right-hand side at the corner of Johnston and Dean. A couple of elevation renderings, because I'm a visual learner, I'm sure a lot of you are. It helps to kind of see a 3D element of it, as it were. And so this is a typical view of the luxury apartments, where you have a very strong visual presence on the street, as well as the elevation rendering, typical elevation on the bottom. The clubhouse, the above image, is from our conceptual fly-through. Since that time, we've been able to work with our A team, our consulting team, civil and architects, to make the clubhouse a single story. So as you can see up there, that's illustrating kind of a walkout 2-story. We've been able to accomplish a single story while still achieving all those amenities and all those things that people really look for in a true luxury clubhouse, both interior and exterior. Next slide. And then finally, the retail center. As David indicated, we really want to hone in on that 4-sided architecture and bring a sense of belonging and coming together. So we're super excited about this retail center. We've already have some interest in some of the spaces, so we're hopeful we can deliver and bring some very exciting users to the Raymond market. Pulled from the 2017 strategic plan, which I know you're currently working on a strategic plan update, or pretty darn close, I think. But for now, we pulled from 2017. I won't go into the nitty-gritty, but we're checking off those boxes, truly making a viable difference for the community of Raymore. And we're happy here to answer any questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any questions for the developer and their team? Mr. Holman.
Mr. Tapp, great presentation. On the elevations for the commercial property, I counted in that drawing 12 separate units. Is that the intention, and is that a correct number?
No, since this time we've kind of streamlined and fine-tuned it. I believe it's going to be 10 spaces, but we have more room, well, not more, but room on the end caps to perhaps have patios if in the event we're able to get one of those exciting entertainment or restaurant users.
That's exciting. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Other questions? Okay, thank you. All right, anything else from staff?
Mr. Gross, any follow-up?
Not at this time.
That concludes staff report.
Very good, thank you. So next, is there a motion to dispose of Bill 3976?
Madam Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes, sir.
I move that we approve Bill 3976, the iconic mixed-use final development plan.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, can we have a roll call?
Mayor Pro Tem Abdelgawad,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
No.
Councilmember Barber,
Yes.
Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Councilmember Circo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert,
Yes.
Councilmember Holman,
Yes.
Councilmember Mills.
No.
All right, Bill 3976 passes with a 6-2 vote for the first reading. That's all we have for new business tonight, so we will move on to public comments. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to come up and speak for a moment? If so, please identify yourself for the record and keep your comments to a maximum of 5 minutes. Seeing no one coming forward, we will move on to mayor and council communication. We'll start down on this end. Mr. Circo?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Don't have much to say. It's kind of an interesting night, but kudos to the Parks and Rec July month. You guys are doing a great job all the time, so you guys well deserved for what you do in this city on the Parks and Rec, and we appreciate all that. Don't have much to say tonight. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Barber?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Great job tonight.
Thank you.
Kind of the same thing with Mr. Circo. It's nice to recognize our AAA parks. I mean, we got some of the nicest parks and amenities anywhere in the metro. And Nathan, your people do a great job, and the park board does a great job. Thank you. It's exciting to hear some new development coming in to Raymore. I'm going to be brief because I want to watch the home run derby, so that's all I got to say.
Thank you. Councilmember Baker?
Since I am remote, I will withhold comment tonight. I wish I was there, but work is work. So thank you.
Understood. Thanks for joining us. Councilmember Ingert?
Believe it or not, I don't have anything for this evening.
All right, we'll move along quickly. Councilmember Holman?
Thank you. One thing, our legal counsel mentioned to us tonight, that this was a ministerial vote. I'm not sure everybody understands what the qualifications and ramifications are of a ministerial vote. They should probably look into that. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilmember Burke?
Thank you, Madam Mayor Pro Tem. I had some family stay with us in Raymore this week from California, and I was really proud to take them. It was nice because my wife and I, our children are older. We don't want to be grandparents yet, but it was really awesome to take our 6-year-old nieces, one from here and one from there, and come and enjoy the parks. It was really cool. But someday we know they'll be waiting for us, and they'll be great for grandchildren. Thanks.
Councilmember Mills?
Thank you. I didn't realize last month when I made a choice that this was going to be our National Parks and Recreation Month, but my company sponsored the Chamber Coffee this past Friday, and I did it there at Hawk Ridge Park. We had one of the best attendances of our Chamber Coffees of the year, and I was amazed. I think there was 45 people there, and about half the people there, it was their first time at Hawk Ridge Park, and they were extremely impressed with the park and the facility. And so it was fun to be able to show off our parks, even to our local business community that wasn't, totally aware of what was there. So again, congratulations to our Parks Department, and we got something to be very proud of. Thank you.
All right, and I would just wrap up with similar comments. Nathan, kudos to your staff, always doing a fabulous job. Our parks in Raymore are definitely a point of pride, and I would encourage everyone in the community, like the proclamation said, find a reason to visit a park this month if you haven't before, or visit again or participate in one of our wonderful programs. And just a quick recognition, we have some members of our park board in the audience, so thank you guys for coming. And if there's nothing else, that concludes this evening's agenda, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Madam Mayor Pro Tem,
Mr. Holman,
I move that we adjourn this July 14th, 2025 meeting of the Raymore City Council.
thank you. Do we have a second?
And I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mayor Pro Tem Abdelgawad,
Yes.
Councilmember Baker,
Yes.
Councilmember Barber,
Yes.
Councilmember Burke,
Yes.
Councilmember Circo,
Yes.
Councilmember Ingert,
Yes.
Councilmember Holman,
Yes.
Councilmember Mills.
Yes.
Thank you. We stand adjourned.